Okay, Arturo, welcome to my channel, bro. For those of you who don't know who Arturo is, Arturo been following me and my advice for some time now. He started his AI receptionist agency a couple of months ago, and he's now on track to doing his first 10K. So what we'll do in this video is basically me and Arturo will have a conversation. I'll ask him a couple of questions. He will give some fire out to you guys. And yeah, you guys can get inspiration from Arturo and see how his story has basically been, bro. So again, welcome, Arturo. Uh, yeah, let's start with a little bit about introduce yourself. Tell us where you were before starting this AI receptionist agency.
Yeah, so my name is Arturo, and so pretty much my story is that my family owns a Mexican restaurant here where I live. I live in Colorado, and I run our restaurant, and I help my family do our business, and but I've always wanted to like have my own thing. You know what I mean? I've always wanted to have like my own way of either business or just like figuring out like how to grow my own thing from the bottom. Because obviously you can take over your family's business, and you don't have to stress too much. But there was something in me that I always wanted to like get my own thing going. And so I remember that one day I was just on Instagram, and I had came across your content, and I was like, fuck. I was like, this is smart. I was like, this is some smart, dope shit. And I was like, I need to like try this out. Like, let me see. Cause I had a marketing agency before that where I was working with construction companies, kind of helping them like bring in leads, do content, stuff like that. So that's what I was doing before that. But when I saw the AI stuff, I was like, fuck, I like this. So what I did is that I built an AI for our restaurant that was supposed to take to orders. So when people would call the restaurant, we would, the AI would like take their order. But to be honest with you, that didn't end up working because when people call, it was a little bit too much. I don't know. Like sometimes they would be like, "Oh, like what's your favorite like burrito, or what's your favorite like what's this?" And like, well, like the AI, bro, like it's not gonna fucking know what to answer when it says that shit. So, that was like my introduction of like learning how to build them, learning how to like get experience with them with the AI. But it didn't work out. I didn't want to like really implement it into my family's business because I didn't want it to start like messing up orders and stuff. So I didn't do it there, but I transitioned and I just started like finding other ways, other people, started doing content. I remember that one of the first things that I saw you said was like, bro, do content because content is the way. And me personally, like I'm not a big, get on behind the camera type of guy, but I was like, fuck it, bro. Like if this is what it takes, this is what it takes. And bro, thankfully, that's where literally the majority of all my clientele has came in. So yeah.
Mm, I love that, man. That sounds like a lot like me, bro. For the people that have been watching my videos, they know my story. I don't know how much you watch, but basically that was the thing with me as well. Family business. They have a car dealership, and they wanted me to come and work there. And I had the opportunity all the time, just like you. But it's something like, it's like there was something in me which was saying like, that's the easy way. I don't want to take that way. I want to like do my own shit and make my own name from scratch. So that was the thing with me. It sounds like it's the same thing with you. And this is kind of different, bro. A lot of people don't have the opportunity we have, which is just work for the family business. You're kind of set up. But people like us were like, okay, no, family business is good and all of that, but I want to do my own shit. And that is what I think is amazing, bro. There is most people wouldn't do that in our situation.
Yeah.
And also for, you were running a marketing agency before this as well. I was doing that as well. And my thing was kind of, or what happened to the marketing agency, bro? Because for me, it was like I fell off because I'm only 23. How old are you, by the way? I forgot to ask you.
24.
24, yeah, cool. So I started my agency, AI agency, no, sorry, my marketing agency around like I was 19, 20 or 20 years old. I ran it till I was 23. I made some money, 15K months and all of that. And then I just got comfortable, bro, and I lost all of it. I don't know what happened to you. What happened to your marketing agency?
Bro, mine was my thing was kind of the same, man. Like I actually hit my first 10K with anything ever with my marketing agency. That was my first time ever seeing 10,000 come in at one time, like in 1 month. Um, so like, it's crazy because I probably could have kept with the marketing agency and maybe grown it, done good, but just something, man. I don't know. Like I just saw the AI stuff and I was like, I want to get into this. Like I want to do this because first of all, I feel like as time goes and as time passes, maybe there might be even AI things that will replace fucking marketing agencies and stuff. I was like, but I want to be the guy behind the replacements. You know what I mean? I'm not going
Yeah.
to be the one getting fucking replaced. I was like, I'm going to be the guy behind everything. And, just like anything, bro, when you start from scratch with anything, it's a little bit tough at the beginning, especially when you had a business that you already were having like motion and things were already going into play. But you just got to put work in and listen to guys like you know what I'm saying? A lot of your advice, bro, you give out the most fucking advice for free. And so I literally would just listen to your YouTube, go to your Instagram. There's a couple of other guys that I would listen to as well. And just through that, man, I just started kind of like building my own lane, trying to do my own thing. Not saying that by any means I'm like where I want to be yet, but there's been able to be like, fucking progress. You know what I mean? And been able to be,
Mm,
know what I mean?
yeah, man. If you started in June, bro, and now it's like, what date is it? It's almost October. So that's June, July, August, September, October. That's like 5 months, 4 months, bro. That's
Yeah.
very good progress. You're almost doing 10K. You're almost at 10K in total. And most people that start, bro, they use ages to get to there. So you're doing actually very good. And would you say that some of the success you had from your AI agency, you had a lot of experience from running your previous SM or your previous marketing agency? Do you think that you learned a lot of things there that you have used here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think because being able to hop on like sales calls, I think maybe that's one of the things that for most people that start off in business, it might be like some of maybe the hardest thing is either like cold calling or like hopping on sales calls and stuff like that. Like I think that part of the game is like because people, maybe they look at you and stuff and they're like, oh yeah, like all he does is just hop behind the camera, talk, show this, that. But they don't realize that there's a whole other like business and sales aspect to the whole game, and that part of the game is like hard. And
Mm,
so definitely my experience from the previous market agency was transferred to this because I'm and also being around my family's restaurant, all I'm doing is like talking to people all day.
mm,
uh so those skills I feel like I definitely was able to translate them over to this, and it definitely helps, because someone who's just starting out, that might be the tough part. You know what I mean? You might be able to build the AI, you might be able to make content, you might be able to do all that, but like the closing and the learning how to like talk to people and pitch it and make them believe in it, like that's probably where one of the hardest grinds right there.
100%, bro, 100%. That is like what generates you most of the results as well. Because as you know, bro, you can have the best AI. You can literally sit there for 50 hours, 60 hours, 100 hours. You can create the best AI. But if you can't even close people, what's the point of the AI? You know?
Literally.
So that's, I would say that that is the most important thing people should work on because you can always outsource the AI. You can always outsource the creation. Sales and marketing and lead generation is your most important, basically, parts of running your agency.
No, yeah, literally, yep, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I love that, man. I love that. Cool. So you have kind of the same kind of story. Uh, yeah, cool. How was, or what was the moment where it basically like clicked for you that this is what I want to do? Because obviously running a marketing agency, you weren't doing bad, you were doing some good months, and you also had the opportunity to work in your like restaurant for your family. And obviously, bro, you wasn't homeless like most people, or like you weren't like you didn't have to pull it off. Kind of like me. I didn't have to like financially, bro, I didn't have to pull it off, but in my mind I had to pull it off, if that makes sense. So, what was the moment for you where it was like, I need to make this shit happen. I need to get into AI and I need to start this agency, start making money with it. What was the thing that clicked in you?
Bro, to be honest with you, so I had gone to I had a family wedding, and it was in Mexico, and I had gone over there, and this was like right when I got to like see your stuff, and I was starting to like kind of put the like starting to like paint the picture and put the play together of like, huh, like, do I want to go after this? Like, should I take a little break from my marketing agency and like go after this and like see what's going on? And while I was over there, I was like in a small like family vacation. It was there was a lot of there was a couple other business owners over there, and I had, sat down with them, and I kind of explained to them my ideas, and I kind of showed them what I wanted to do, and they were just like blown away. They were like, bro, they're like, that's so smart. They're like, that's sick. They were like, because as time goes, you'll probably learn more about it. You'll learn how to do this and that. Sorry. And so they were like, man, you should do that. They were like, because marketing, they were like, we can call 500 different guys who have a camera and can run ads and do all that stuff,
Oops.
But he's like, there's not many people that I know that I could be like, yo, I need someone to like implement AI into my business. They're like, I don't know too many people who I can call and ask for that. So I was like, you know what? That's true. I was like, because there's a bunch of like marketing content guys like here in the city where I live. I was like, and I kind of want to like set up a own lane for myself to kind of do my own thing. You know what I mean? I want to be like the AI guy, and like when people talk about it, like they come to me. And so that was kind of when I would say that it like kind of like sparked in my brain, and I was like, all right, like let me really like go out to this and like try it. And
Mm,
just like I said, bro, like even though like I was starting to get those 10K months with my marketing agency, um, I always believed that if I just like translated the same like discipline and like focus to this business, that it would work out. I always thought it would. And just like you said, bro, like I wasn't I wasn't like fucking homeless. I wasn't like starving. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that's my story, because it's not. But I think we understand that there's like a little bit more to us, and that just like I wanted to create my own thing, man. Yeah, I
100%.
didn't want anyone to be like, yo, he just took over, and that's all he did. And
Mm,
yeah,
100%, man. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly the thing, bro. For me, it was the same thing as well because I started a couple of months before you. Like a lot of people think that I've been doing this for years. I actually haven't. Yes, I've been in entrepreneurship for years, and I have basically just been broke, bro, for a lot of years. AI is the thing that actually made me money, and the main reason was, and what I keep hearing over and over again is the same thing. Like there's almost no competition, bro. Because AI marketing, there is like only one field you can do in marketing, or there is not a lot of fields. There's like Facebook ads, which is the main thing, and then you can have like Google SEO, Google ads, TikTok ads. There's small things like that. But with AI, bro, it's like you can solve any fuck. There's like millions of use cases. So
mhm,
when I started, it was like N8 and agents and things like that. That doesn't really make the business more money. But when I came across this AI receptionist idea, I looked around. There was basically no one selling this, bro. Almost no one selling this. And that was the moment that it clicked for me as well. Like, look, there is no one selling this, and it actually has a ROI, and it solves a huge problem. 62% of businesses miss, or businesses on average in the US, small to medium sized businesses miss on average 62% of calls. So there's a huge issue that we can solve, very low competition. And that was the time it clicked for me. I was like, fuck it. Fuck everything else. Fuck the drop shipping. Fuck all of that. I'm gonna go into this. And then it paid off. First month I did nothing. Second month I did $30,000. So it's crazy, bro. Like, a lo- here's the thing. Like, I don't know if you agree with this, but a lot of people think that I'm a genius or shit like that. I'm not, bro. I'm not a genius. The thing is just there is demand for AI. So if you can put yourself under that demand, bro, you can you can accidentally make money, if that makes sense.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Because the
Bro,
demand is crazy.
I think it's just all about. I think a big thing, bro, like you said, is like, dude, bro, like people are fucking scared to do content and like put their face behind a screen. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie, I felt the same way too at the beginning. I was like, oh, I want to be that guy. I would look up the how to run
Faceless.
how to run a faceless. You know what I mean? All that bullshit. But bro, it's like you said, bro. We're not fucking Batman. We're not out here trying to like be like Mr. Mystery. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, just do it. You know. And what I would like to tell people is that, bro, you know, it's crazy. You think that you're like, fuck, like I need like 10,000 followers at least to like bring any sales. Like, bro, I got sales and I think I'm almost at like 1,000. I only like have like 1,000. Like I'm like a 990 something.
mm,
And it's just about being able to like stay consistent, make consistent content, really provide demos. I think that's a big thing that I learned from you is like just give people the demo so that way they like almost like fall in love with it instantly. And
mm,
then almost, almost always, bro, they're like, all right, like let's figure something out, let's do it. And yeah, like I would say that. And another thing is that like there's been a couple of people that I've had to say no to, and they wanted to pay me, but I could tell that they were going to be the kind of client that was going to be a pain in my ass, bro.
yeah.
And I've told them no, like I don't want your money because I know that if we get into business together, it's going to be a pain in the ass for me. You know what I mean? That's another thing.
100%. 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, I've dealt with a lot of people like that, bro. Often it's better to say no to money because that money will bring you a fuck ton of stress, bro, and it'll destroy your mind. And it will, like, it's better to say no to that money and then basically not get money from there, but at least you have peace of mind. And that peace of
Oh,
mind will help you make more money, if that makes sense.
oh yeah, definitely. I definitely agree, bro.
Yeah, but I love that, man. Love that. Definitely, yeah. A lot of people think that you need to have a lot of followers, or me, for example, bro. I'm not even after followers. I don't know how the fuck I have 38,000 followers on Instagram. I just have it on accident. But the more follow, here's the thing. A misconception people have is like the more followers, the more money. It's not the case. In 2025, it's because we're not fucking influencers, bro. We're selling information. And information you can't sell to anyone. Or not selling information, but in this case, there is two sides of the business. I'm selling information and I'm also selling my agency services. But for example, for you and the people that are not selling a mentorship on this, you guys are only selling B2B. You guys are selling your AI receptionist, right? So you can't sell to everyone, right? If you have 100,000 followers, let's say 80% of them are fucking, bro, people from high school or
Yeah,
people that don't even run a business. Okay, cool, you have 100,000 followers, but you're broke because none of them are even the correct followers, right? So a lot of people think that you need a fuck ton of followers and things like that. You don't, bro. You just need to have, let's say you have 100 followers, 10 out of them are, or 20 out of them are business owners, local business owners. You can convert
mhm,
10 out of them. And that's 10 clients at 5K each. Do the math yourself,
yeah,
so you don't need a lot of followers. And that's a misconception, yeah, a lot of people have. And you probably had it in the beginning as well, but now it's probably
yeah,
changed.
yeah, yeah. And that's that's a big thing because I'm sure you probably get like thousands a day of just people who are like, oh, like help me, bro, like what can I do, like this and that. And then I look at their page and then I'm like, bro, I'm not
Mm,
gonna even answer you because you're not even worth my time. Because if I tell you anything, you're not even gonna listen to me. But there have been a few guys that you do give some advice and they listen, and then you see like the thing is like the first sale is always the hardest, bro. I think the first sale is like once you see that first sale come in, it
mm,
almost makes you believe like in the vision. You know what I mean?
mm. Speaking of sales, bro, let's get into that, bro. I love that. Let's speak about your first sale. How was that experience? Where did the lead come from? How much did they pay you? How was the feeling? Tell us a little bit about more of that.
So my first one was a my first one came from my content, but it didn't come from like an out of state. It was actually someone that I knew that saw my content. And that's what exactly why I tell people like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like you don't need thousands of followers. You just need the right people following you. Um and so he owned a construction company. It's kind of a company that does like everything. They do like HVAC, they do plumbing, they do all that stuff, right? And you know how it is. Like those guys, it's almost like they're handling all of the stuff by themselves. Uh, so for him, it was my first one. I built it for him, and I gave it to him, and I think I told you, I only sold it for like $1,000. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything crazy, but it was kind of like I just wanted to get the experience of building everything and setting everything in place myself. You know what I mean? That was
Mm,
almost worth more than the money that I got, because
100%.
that was the first time that I like really understood, like, okay, let me take his whole business, build the AI for it, implement it, connect this stuff together, build a workflow for him. And yeah, bro, I only charged him $1,000, and then it's like $100 like monthly retainer. And from there, I remember seeing it though, and then seeing how it was working for him, and like, I was really like, I was happy as hell, man, because I was like,
Mm,
dude, I did that shit. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's a feeling. You know what I mean? You feel proud of yourself. So I think that
100%.
first step, man, that first sale is where it all comes together.
100%. It was the same thing for me, bro. Last week I made $12,500 in total last week. That's crazy. But here's the thing. My first sale, bro, I was like, it was different. It was just like, okay, cool, I'm making 12K a week and all of that. My goal was like to make 10K a month, but I'm far beyond that right now, right? And like my first sale, I was, I wouldn't say happier, but I was, it was more special than what I'm making right now because that first sale, bro, it's like the first time you see that Stripe notification. I don't know what you use. I used Stripe back then. Are you
Yeah,
using Stripe?
yeah,
Yeah. So when you see that purple notification, it's like the first time ever. It's like for me, it was goosebumps, bro. It was like I went home and I immediately showed it to everyone. I was like, look, 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 look. I think it was at 2,500 or 2,000, something like that, and it was a med spa, and it was like, wow, it just hits different, bro. How was that feeling when you first saw that first money land in your bank account from AI?
bro. It was almost like it was sick. It was sick. And like the thing is, it wasn't my first time getting paid. Like because I'm gonna be honest, like even with my marketing like business, like I had been paid like thousands of dollars before. So it
Mm,
wasn't like I was like, oh shit, the money's cool about it. No, what was cool about it was I was like, oh shit, like this AI thing works. Like it's
mm,
now now I believe in it 1000%, because now I'm like, this is sick, because the lead came in through my content. I was able to, sit down, talk with them, build them an AI, implement it, get paid for it. So I was like, I just did it. Like, there we go. Now it's just
mm,
about running. And last week I closed. I think I told you I closed another one for. It's a guy who does foreclosure. He buys homes from people,
mm,
and I built him an outbound agent that's going to be calling all the people who come in through his leads. So and that one was like the easiest sale I've ever made. You know what I mean? Because he just found me, hit me up, we sat down, talked. He fell in love with the whole thing, the whole process. Everything that we discussed, and it was just almost like easy money, bro, easy money.
mm,
And I remember my marketing agency, it was almost like you had to sit there, you had to really pitch, you had to come with a whole presentation, you had to
mm.
really be on your shit, be professional. This, it's like just show them a couple demos, talk to them, and it's a little bit, it sells itself. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. That's the power of demos. A lot of people, I don't know if you're cold calling now, but a lot of people, when they cold call, for example, the first thing they're trying to pitch is like, hop on a call with me. Hop on a call with me. Imagine, bro, you're a business owner, you're busy. Okay, it's your restaurant, it's your family's restaurant, and you're sitting at the receptionist, you're seeing like 50,000 people, not 50,000, but you see a lot of people coming in and out. You barely
Yeah,
have time to go and eat, bro. You barely have time to go and take a shit. You barely have time for yourself. And then some kid calls you and says, hey, I'm selling this AI. Hop on a 30-minute call with me. Bro, 99% of people will say fuck off, right?
yeah,
But if someone calls you and said, for example, hey, this is, for example, the sales script or the cold calling script that all of the people in the program are using, which is like, hey, I called a couple of days ago. No one actually picked up, and that got me thinking, you guys are missing out on, customers because no one is picking up the phone, and that means you guys are losing out on money. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. I already built an AI receptionist demo. Where can I send it? That is so, and then when they see the demo, bro, that boom, it builds the trust. Because here's the thing, AI is new. A receptionist is very new, so they probably haven't heard of this before. So if you just
mhm,
say AI receptionist, hop on a call with me, they don't even know what you mean. If you can send them a personalized demo, It changes the whole thing. And that's basically the power of demos. How have demos played a role in your journey getting clients and basically getting on sales calls?
I think exactly how you said, bro. Like, because when I am, because I do manage my family's restaurant, and I am there some days, and I literally get calls like that, where it's people like trying to do branding or something, and and I always think to myself, I'm like, dude, you guys are doing cold calling like the whole like wrong way, the whole wrong way. Like, you think that we just have time to just sit down and do all this and stuff? Um, Definitely not. I have done cold calling, but I'm gonna be honest, like I've never cold calling personally for me didn't work. Like for me,
Mm,
I'm not saying that it's not something that you should do. Personally, me, my leads have came in through my content. That's where it's been able for me to close them and get paid.
mm,
Uh, I have tried cold calling though. I have tried it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it's definitely something that you should do at the beginning. Like if you're starting out, that's you should be exercising every single way. Emails, cold calling, walking into businesses. I personally think that if you're starting out, that the best thing you can do is like talk to the business owners that are in your vicinity, like right there. Like try
mm,
to, see how you can help them. You know what I mean? Come. I feel like if you come to people with a solution and then you show them a personalized demo, it really helps because you're making them a demo that's like catered to them. You know what I mean? You're almost like giving them something that's like very tailored to someone in their business. And I feel like they really like that. You know what I mean? I
mm.
feel like that really helps out when it's like built for them. Because if you just pull out an AI receptionist and it just starts talking and you're just talking back and forth with it, they'll probably be able to see like the vision, they'll be able to see like the opportunity. But if like when they answer, it's like their business, like, hey, thanks
Mhm.
for, you know, Bob's Barbershop or whatever, our fades are 70 and this and that, and then he sees it that it's tailored to them. That really helps because I actually do work with a barbershop, and like I remember when I showed them the demo of like how it works for them, he really liked that. You know what I mean? So I think demos are very powerful.
100%, man. And when it's personal, because you can have a demo, like universal demo that you can use for everyone. Cool. As you said, like cool, yeah, it's going back and forward. They can probably see the vision, but if it's personalized, first of all, they like you more as a person. They'll see that,
Mhm.
okay, this guy is actually, making personalized demos. It's not just like a mass-produced thing. And the demo is like they can basically experience how it would be for them firsthand. They'll get a firsthand experience. That is so powerful, bro. That's basically what most people don't do. Because how long does it take you, bro? If you go into 11 labs, all you gotta do is just change the prompt and change the welcome message or when it picks up the message like that. All you gotta do is just change the name, right? It takes you, let's say, per demo, it takes you, let's say, 5 minutes extra. But that 5 minutes, the ROI on that 5 minutes that you put in extra to make it personalized is so much fucking better, bro. It's like
Yeah.
it actually pays off. It makes a huge difference.
Mhm.
So I would say the same thing. Like demos have changed the game. And let's say let's say you're a thumbnail editor and you're gonna create a demo, or let's say you're a shorts editor, right? Because my agency before this, I was doing shorts, right?
Mhm.
I was selling YouTube shorts to YouTubers, and for us to create a demo, it took us 30 minutes, 1 hour, because we had to find the clip and all of that. But now with the AI stuff, like with the AI receptionist, it takes literally not even. Honestly, bro, it doesn't even take 5 minutes because you know how it is with 11 Labs. Just change the prompt. Boom, you have the same prompt, you just give it to ChatGPT and you create everything with ChatGPT, copy, paste, boom, and then a video. So I would say it's like if you can do personalized samples, put in 5 minutes extra, it can change everything. Like everything, bro.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't do it well, then it's like you just want to fail, or like you don't
Yeah.
want to like you don't want
Laziness,
to.
bro.
Yeah, it's like you're just lazy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's another big thing where why people fail is just because they think they work hard, but it's like, bro, come on, you know what I mean? And
Um,
I'm not even say that doing these AI stuff, it's like you're working super hard. I'm not even saying that. I think that like all you have to do is just kind of like have a like think a little bit, have a brain, think a little bit, listen to people who are already winning, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And what they say, and like literally, just step by step, you know what I mean? And be patient, I remember days, bro, where I was like, fuck, like maybe this isn't gonna work out. Like I might like go back to the mark, like, thinking like that, like, having those moments, but it's just like you gotta just push through, keep rolling, keep doing the outreach if you need to, you know what I mean? Keep posting content every day, back in, back out. And
mm.
like, bro, what I'm saying, it doesn't take, you don't have to have like an insane IQ to understand that.
100%. 100%, man. Like, that's the thing. You don't have to be a genius, bro. Like, I know personally, I know so many people that are a lot smarter than me. There's a lot more creative than me that have a lot of better, like, thought process than me. But the thing is, they're broke. Why? Because they're lazy. Like, here's the thing. They're not in the 1950s anymore, bro. Like, a lot of people think that you could have some kind of information. Even I used to think like you have to have some kind of information that doesn't exist out there. That's some confidential FBI type of shit. You don't need that, bro. All information out there, everyone has access to the same information, if I'm going to be honest. Like there's so much free information out there. But problem now is that people are lazy. In the 1950s, people weren't lazy. It was lack of information. Now it's lack of hustlers because there is lack of motivate. Oh, sorry, the discipline and consistency, right? So what you're doing, bro, what I'm doing, we're not doing some like Elon Musk type of shit. We haven't created because we're not the one creating the AI. We're just using
Yeah,
platforms to create AI. Why? Because like it's just information. Like it's not even information. It's just for example, the demos, bro, you're just putting in extra work more than others because you're not lazy, you're not disciplined. The reason, probably when you posted your first piece of content, you didn't get your first sale, right? It took some time. Why? It wasn't because you were genius. Being genius had nothing to do with you posting over and over again. It's just because you're disciplined, right? And then discipline comes from obviously more things like, I don't know what your motivation is, right? Maybe it's retiring your mother, maybe it's helping out your families, maybe it's, you were insecure when you were younger. For example, for me, that was the case, I grew up with a lot of insecurities and then I always wanted to be the best. I always wanted to make money and it's different. But yeah, the point is, you don't have to be a genius. Everyone who's watching, you don't have to be a genius. You just have to have, follow someone. You can literally follow, like Artur has been doing. He's been following me or a couple other guys. He's been implementing what we teach and just being consistent with that. And that's it. Now, moving on, bro. Let's talk a little bit about challenges and lessons. So, what would you say have been the hardest part in this whole journey?
the hardest part. Um, like, do you mean like the hardest part, like when it comes to like the business side of like an AI, or like or just like dealing with it, or like the whole thing in general?
Whole thing in general.
Well, I'd say there's a couple things, bro. I feel like number one, getting started is just like I feel like getting started is the hardest part, because that's when you're like telling yourself like, oh, you're overthinking things. But just like we talked about, you don't need a incredible IQ, bro. You just need to like put in some work, sit down, understand the plan, you know what I mean, and get started. I feel like getting started was probably one of the hardest, just because for me, it was like I was leaving another business, taking a chance on
Mm,
it. So that's why I would say that was one of the hardest. And then another like big challenge I would say was when you don't see results like within your first fucking month, and most people
mm,
get super baby and like almost start crying, like, oh, and I'm like, bro, you understand that most businesses like don't even fucking are successful, right? Like most businesses fail. So it's like, if you're not getting your first client within your first month, like, dude, it's fine. Like, don't beat yourself up on it, you know what I mean? Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Because there was a lot of times that maybe I wasn't selling, you know what I mean? But I was talking to people. I was getting closer. You know what I mean? I could feel it was coming, I remember there was a lady, she was almost gonna be my first client. She was an event planner, and she came to me, she hit me up, we sat down, we talked, and she didn't end up converting, and it was a little bit of like a waste of time, you know what I mean? But and instead of getting like down about it, I was like, hey, well, at least I was able to. She was able to see the vision. She booked a call with me. We sat down. We talked about it, and it didn't convert, but it's like it still was something. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
I think another big thing is like people need to understand the process. You know what I mean? I would say being patient. So starting out, being patient, and then I think another thing is like we said, bro. Like not every client is a good client. You know what I mean?
mm.
Not all money is good money. Um, I literally had a barber that we hopped on a call, and while we're talking, and this is a business call, and this guy is literally cutting hair while we're talking, bro.
Bro,
Like
that happened to me so many times, I know.
I was like, seriously, bro. I was like, seriously. And the thing is that I recorded it because I like to record all of my calls, right? So that way afterwards I can go and like look at it and be like, okay, I could do that better. But this guy, bro, he was just being an asshole, bro. He was being an asshole. He was like, I remember, I go through my whole list of questions that I like to ask them during our call. And, I asked him, I was like, hey, bro, like, so are you missing any calls? Like, or, what's going on? Like, and he was like, no, no, no. He was like, don't analyze my business, bro. He was like, don't
Yeah.
analyze my business. He's like, you tell me what you can do and this, and that. And I remember, bro, after, and then in the middle of the call, bro, he's like, oh, you want a one or a two, or you want me to fade this? And I was like, are you talking to me or are you talking to someone else? He's like, oh no, sorry, bro, I'm cutting some hair. So I was like, all right, man, like if you want, I'll just text you. Like we can talk later. Hung up the phone, and I immediately was like, nah. And I just texted him. And I
Mm,
was like, hey, man, like I don't think this is gonna work out. Like, And then he kept telling me that he already knew about these AI agents and that he's like, I know that you guys try to like scam people and like you guys try to like overcharge and this and that. I was like, bro, I am not gonna even give you 2 seconds more of my time, bro. I was like,
mm.
thank you for everything. I was like, since you think you know so much about AI agents, bro, I was like, you should try and build one yourself. Like, you do it. You don't need me there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and that was that, bro. That was another challenge, though. I think that's another thing.
Yeah. Yeah. What it sounds like to me is the way you told me that you overcame these challenges is just through mindset. Because there's nothing technical you can do, right? There's just mindset, right? You keep trying over and over again. It's in your mind, right? Either you can give up or you can keep going. What decides that? Your mind, right? Same thing with first starting out. Obviously, when you're going from one business that is already working for you, and then transitioning to into another one, and that transition is in the mind, bro. Like it's all in the mind. Like people, underestimate this so much. Like I've seen so many memes and shit. Like I bought this course, and then first 4 hours were mindset. But without like the mindset is the most important part, bro, because me and
Yeah.
you can be doing the same thing. Let's say you are making 50K a month and I'm making $0 a month. I can guarantee you there's something that is in my mindset where I'm not like, which is not straight, right? Because winning is done 90% in the mind. And winning in business or in this shit is not being it's circling back. It's not being a genius. It's just being consistent. And where does consistency come from? The mind, right? So it's all about the mind, and people underestimate this so much. They're like, yeah, yeah, just skip through the mindset, just tell me what to do, bro. And then they do it, give up after 2 weeks. Why? Because they don't have the mindset right, right? So it all comes back to mindset. And me, I had the same kind of issues in the beginning. And again, mindset. If you can fix your mindset, you can get through fucking anything, bro.
Oh yeah, bro. I think everyone's just like, I think it was like Alex Hormozy who said he was like, it's never been easier to win, but um, it's never been easier to win, but it's also like the easiest it's ever been to get distracted as well. You know,
100%. Yeah.
like you can be distracted, you can go down the wrong path. You know what I mean? And you can either scroll for 4 hours or you can create something for 4 hours. You know what I mean? It's whatever you choose. You know what I mean? And I think just like you said, it's mindset. You go to the gym, and if you're a huge fat guy and you go to the gym, after 2 weeks, you're not going to be fucking ripped. You're not going to have abs and be big as hell. You know what I mean? It's going to take time. It's going to take focus. You're going to have to eat correctly. You're going to have to do the right things over and over and over and over. And that's literally business. You know what I mean? That's literally business, bro.
Mm,
So I think people just need to understand that. Don't be so fucking hard on yourself if you don't fucking win after 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like, just relax. You know what I mean? Be grateful where you are. Take it step by step. You know what I mean? Like I said, even if you're booking calls, talking to people, and you're not selling, well, at least you're talking to people. At least you're getting the ball rolling. You know what I mean? And if you keep doing that, I know I can almost, I'm sure you can also agree that you will get your first sale. You know what I mean? Like, it will happen. You just have to
100%.
continue.
100%. And one more thing I would like to add to that is a lot of people, yes, okay, they understand that don't give up. But at the same time, as you told me as well, I'm pretty sure you're doing this, and you actually told me this, that record your calls, record what you're doing, track what you're doing, because yes, you can keep doing the same. Let's say you're doing cold calling, and then you can keep doing the same script millions of times. But if you're changing nothing, nothing is going to change for you. No, the results is not going to change. It's still going to keep getting no's, right? So if you're tracking and you're recording all of the calls, and you can actually circle back and look back and watch all the recordings, see where you messed up, see where you can do better, that will make a huge difference. Because every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. But that is only if you analyze what you did wrong and learn from your mistakes, right? Most people don't analyze, bro. They just keep doing. They're like, okay, I just got a cold call, and then they're like they can keep doing it over and over again, but they'll still keep failing. Why? Because they change nothing, because they don't analyze the calls, they don't analyze what they've been doing, right? So, yes, it's important to keep going and just, detach from the outcome and, don't cry after 2 weeks. But it's also very important to track everything you're doing, see where the bottleneck is, and actually fix that bottleneck and improve and learn and improve. And then you can basically get closer to success.
Yeah, man. I think the crazy thing is that, bro. I don't know if you did. I think maybe you did, but I dropped out of college, right?
Me
And
too,
that
bro.
just, bro. Like, I am not the fucking smartest dude ever, bro. Like, I'm not. But what I do is that I do like to, like, at least give myself the chance to see where, like, things can go. You know what I mean? And I feel like most people, they give up right before they see anything. You know what I mean? Like me, if you start something, why would you give up before you see any result? Like, just that makes no sense. So you just wasted your time pretty much.
100%.
Like, at least get yourself somewhere and then be like, okay, if this isn't for me, then it's not for me. That's fine. But that's why I think another thing is, like, make the decision and, all right, boom, move. Now, what's the next step? You know what I mean? Like, get the ball rolling, get the action rolling. Like, I think I think, like, as long as you have, like, urgency and speed and you start doing things, like, quickly, I think that beats, like, being the smartest fucking dude ever. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. 100%. Again, it all circles back to consistency and mindset, and you don't have to be a genius, right? But yeah, cool, man. Cool, 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 cool. Now, what I would like to ask you, bro, is because obviously people that are watching are either in the stages of starting their AI agency or already running one, or there's people from a lot of different stages, right? Now, if you could go back and change, or if you could go back and correct a couple of mistakes, what would that be? What is it that you would do better, and what is it that you would fix that would get you to that 10K mark a lot faster?
Um,
Just so other people know what kind of mistakes to avoid.
yeah, I would say, honestly, I would go back and tell myself, like, make sure that you are putting in daily touches. Like, daily touches, I would say probably to content as well. Like, really, I feel like people really need to understand how valuable content is. Like, kind of like you said, like, this isn't 1945 anymore. Like, you can really bring in money through Instagram, I mean, through TikTok, through Facebook, through all these things. Um, so yeah, I would probably, even though I did start the content, I would have probably told myself back then, like, start it sooner and, like, just be confident. You know what I mean? Be confident. Every time when you first get on behind the camera, you're kind of a little bit, like, skeptical. You're kind of a little bit like, I'm not good at this. But I would say the beginning, just, like, get rid of the fear. And I would say probably, fear wasn't a thing, like what would you do? You know what I mean? Like if you weren't afraid, you know what I mean? If you didn't give a fuck what anyone thinks, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, that's probably my biggest one, to be honest, bro. Like if you weren't afraid, because some people are okay. I'm afraid to call businesses. Oh, I'm afraid to walk into businesses. Oh, I'm afraid to get behind the camera. Oh, I'm afraid to like talk to people, hop on sales calls. I feel like if you get rid of fear and you just look at it through the different lens of like failure is okay, you'll get you'll win a lot quicker. You know what I mean? That's personally, that's what I believe. You know what I mean? Like get rid of the fear and start doing whatever it takes if fear wasn't a thing, and then just start doing it. You know what I mean? Start cold emailing, start cold calling, just get the word out there, and post that content daily. You know what I mean? Post that content daily, do your thing. And that's probably what I would tell myself at the beginning.
yeah, I love that, man. I love that. Fear is very like I know I don't talk about this enough, but now you kind of reminded me this of this as well. Fear is very like either people are lazy, which I think most people are, or they're just afraid. These are the main two things holding them back, right? Because I get so many messages, like, because I'm big on social media, like, not big on social media in terms of following, but when I speak, I say, I tell my followers or people that are running AI agencies, get on social media, get on social media, get on so, and you can kind of see the ROI in it as well now because you've been getting most of your clients from there. But yeah, that is like fear is something that is stopping them from putting their face on social media, or even cold calling or hopping on sales call and all of that. If fear wasn't a thing, I love what you said. If fear wasn't a thing, what would you do? Then you would do basically any fucking thing, right? Because yes, for me, this was the case as well. I wasn't lazy. Like, yes, I was lazy like a lot of years back, but when I started my like whole entrepreneurship journey, I haven't been lazy once. A lot of times I've been afraid. And that fear have made me lose sales. That fear have made me, not cold call or not put out content. Obviously now I'm doing it, but there have been times that I have not been doing because I was afraid, right? And even like sometimes I hopped on sales calls, but I was afraid. And what that have done for me is like I lost a sale, because honestly, bro, like imagine this, like I'm trying to sell, let's say you work in that Mexican restaurant, right? I'm hopping on this call with you and I'm trying to sell you my AI receptionist and I'm all here like mumbling over my words and I'm like, you can see that I'm scared. You can sense that I don't believe in my own shit, right? And that will make you like, this guy doesn't even believe in his own shit. Why the fuck should I trust him with my whole business?
Yep.
So I love that you said that because I don't talk about this enough. But yeah, fear is something that you should completely detach from. And here is my analogy on detaching from fear. It's like whatever happens, it happens. You can't control that. Just focus on the input. That's like my theory, and that is what has helped me remove fear from my head. How have you overcome fear when it comes to this kind of stuff?
I don't even think you overcome it. I think you just start doing it, and then like you fucking almost like some David Goggins that shit, where it's like you put yourself in the fire so much, bro, that it starts to just be like this is where I live. You know what I mean? This is what feels comfortable. And like I said, for me, I think maybe the biggest thing for fear for me was maybe the content, just because um, I took my personal like Instagram. I didn't like build another Instagram and then like start doing it there. I just took my Instagram that was me, that everyone knew me by and everyone like would follow me by. And I just turned it into, my like AI agency, Instagram, business Instagram. And I knew that people are gonna be like, like what the fuck is this guy doing? Like what the fuck?
Mm,
Like, look at him now. Like, oh, the last business didn't work or something, huh? And it's like, no, bro. Like, my last business did work, but like, it's not even worth it to explain to these fucking
mm,
people. So, that's maybe the biggest thing that I knew was going to come with my content. I knew that people were going to see it and be like, here he goes again. Like, he's trying out this shit now. Like, now let's see where he goes with this. But you just have to, like I said, bro, you just have to say fuck it. Like, it doesn't matter who the fuck, whatever they say, like whatever they
They're not gonna
think.
pay your bills, bro. They're not gonna feed your kids in the future. You probably don't have kids right now, but they're not gonna retire your mother. They're not gonna pay your bills. They're not gonna get you the Lambo. They're not gonna get you the freedom. They're not gonna do shit, bro. They're gonna talk shit anyways. So what the fuck does it matter? You know?
Exactly, right? Exactly, exactly. And they're not the ones that but the thing is that they're also not going to be the ones who get to, have the fruits from the labor. You know what I mean? They're not going to get to like fucking, talk with other business people, make money. You know what I mean? All they do is just chat. They're chatty patty. So
Mm,
that's what I call them, bro. Like that. I've had a lot of people who are like, bro, you're doing this now, or they'll be like, that's funny, like, bro, they're like, they'll say something like, oh, this is funny, bro. Like the way you do this, that, like you think you're so professional, this and that. Like, look at you, this and that. And I'm just, honestly, the best thing I can do, bro, is just laugh too, bro. Be like, yeah, man, sure. Like, you know what I mean? It's
it's
not
not
worth
even
my
worth it,
time.
bro. 100%. It's not
We're
worth it, bro.
not gonna sit here and start fucking having a dick measuring contest and be like, oh, yeah, bro, no, you don't understand. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like, no. If you think it's funny, bro, that's fine. But I get paid, so whatever you want to think it. You know what I mean?
You pull up the camera, then you talk. Let's see what you can
Yeah,
talk about.
bro.
Let's see what you can do then.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you get behind the fucking camera and let me know how you do.
But yeah, bro, these people exist. Like even I'm at like in the beginning, I had people laughing and all of that. Yes, it's less now, but it's still people that are hating. You know, can't do anything about it. But and here's the thing: hate always comes from below, right?
Exactly.
You never seen like a bodybuilder hate on a skinny kid. You never
Yeah.
seen a bodybuilder hate on a fat kid. You never seen a millionaire hate on a broke guy who's trying, right?
But
We
yeah.
have people, we have millionaires that are hating on broke guys, but not like millionaires that are hating on broke people trying to actually get there, right? So hate always comes from below. So yeah, that's that's how it is, man. You know, you get a lot of hate online when you post content. You have a lot of people laughing, but what can you do? They're not gonna pay your bills.
Nah, man. And it's like if that's enough to really like make you stop, then I think you need to go and like evaluate yourself and like
Then you're
kind
a
of
pussy, bro. Straight up, then you're a pussy. Like, what the
yeah,
fuck?
like evaluate yourself, bro. And if that's all it takes, even though we do receive hate, I do have the right people though in my inbox, millionaires who are like, bro, this is sick, this is dope, this is awesome, like good for you, bro. Like I'm proud to see you doing the right thing. It's kind of like you said, like the winners never hate on the guy who's trying to make it. You know what I mean? Just like you said, like I would never go to the gym and see the fat guy who's like trying his best, sweating, and be like, oh, look at him. Like, no, bro, no.
Because you've been there, bro.
You know,
That's the thing.
been there. Yeah, I've been there. You know what I mean? I've been the fat guy, the skinny guy with that, that just walked in there for the first time. And I just think that people, they need to, harden up a little bit if that's enough for you to give up. You know what I mean?
100%. 100%, bro. Yeah. There's a video of Dana White saying something like, this generation, most people are like pussies. For the ones who are like hungry, run every motherfucker over. Go get your shit. I don't know if you've seen that video, but that's completely true, bro.
Yeah,
Like there's like honestly, most people like it takes so little for them to give up. It takes so little for them to give up and completely turn into, as you say, crybabies and do nothing.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
love that,
yeah.
man. I love that. It seems like you have a lot of personal mindset transformation as well. Obviously, this video is getting now long. Maybe we're gonna do another one once you hit 20K, 30K, 50K, and then we can talk a little bit more about that. But yeah, the last question I want to ask you, bro, is like, how has your life changed? Like, obviously, like you're not there yet. You're not successful, Rick Ross type of shit. And same thing with me. I'm not like, and people then they ask me like, how have your life changed and all of that. I'm like, life is pretty much the same. It's just I have more opportunities, but I'm even more locked in now. I don't know how it is for you. How has your life changed? Like, since you actually, because you're on your way to do 10K now, how has your life changed in terms of, freedom, income, confidence, lifestyle? Probably lifestyle haven't changed that much, but yeah, you tell me, bro.
Well, the thing is that right when right, so the thing is that right when I started my AI agency, I also moved to I wanted to move to a nicer area. So I started my AI agency and I moved as well at the same time. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So it was kind of like I need to get after it. You know what I mean? Like I gotta go
for
get it.
sure.
And now I live in a nicer area here in I live in Colorado. That's where I'm from. And that's where I live. And so I moved to a nicer area, bro. And it wasn't even that at the time I was making like 10K. Well, with my marketing business, yeah, but with the AI agency, I was like I was barely transitioning into the AI agency, and so I moved at the same time, and it was kind of like my way of being like, we got to go hard. You know what I mean? Like we got to go hard because I want to live around nice areas. This area that I live in, it's like, sometimes I see fucking McLarens and Lambos riding around, bro, and I'm just like, it's the best thing for me mentally because it just lets me
Mm,
know, you know what I mean? It's like that's where I'm headed, that's where I'm going, and it was like, so I wouldn't say like my life changed drastically, but it was like those few changes, like just the change of setting. Now, I'm here, you're by yourself all the time, so it's like you have the opportunity to just sit down and work consistently. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I would say my biggest changes to my life, bro, were just like my location, my confidence now, because now it's like I kind of feel like I've shown myself the results. They came in. I'm definitely not where I want to be. I know, I'm not hitting 30,000 months yet, but it's like at least I have like proof of like the concept. You know what I mean? And so I would say, confidence has gone up. Really, I would say like dialing in my everyday routine of like, okay, wake up, gym, come back, work, handle this, handle that, knock it out. And through that, people think that maybe once you make a lot of money, that's where the confidence comes in. I think dialing it in with what you do every day is where the confidence comes in. You know what I
mm,
mean? I
100%,
think,
bro.
yeah, I think those are my biggest things that changed, bro. That's so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people think like there's a lot of like people that think at 10K a month you're a fucking millionaire. I got like this comment once was just like, okay, you're making 10K a month, but why you're not driving a Lambo? Like that's not how it works, bro. It's not how it works. But yeah, speaking of like moving, well, speaking of moving, I think that's something that I need to do as well because I live in Norway. The whole Norway is like this, bro. I don't know how much you know about Norway, but it's literally the most matrix country you can be in. Taxes are
Hmm.
super high. It's like 50% taxes. There is like, bro, people are fucking depressed, but look at the weather outside. It's like majority of the time it's like this. It's cold. In the winters it's like minus 17 degrees. It's ice and snow and shit like that. And yeah, man, I need to get out of here as well because most people, bro, they're not broke, but they're like, there is no difference between people. There is no like rich people. You can't see nice cars. You don't see people actually making money with their business. Like, you don't see that shit. So I think that's something I need to do as well. I'm actually going to Marbella now on Thursday. So yeah, that will be a little environment change. And then
Nice.
I'm also thinking of, setting up the business in Dubai and actually, living there for 3 to 6 months. And yeah, I'm thinking of doing that as well. I think that helps a lot. And yeah, in terms of confidence, definitely, you show yourself that, you know, I'm actually competent. I'm not useless, I can actually do shit and it changes your confidence. It changes like the way you speak, the way you move. And a lot of people, here's the thing, a lot of people, this happened to me and it seems like it happened to you as well. A lot of people think that when you start making 7K a month, 10K, and when you start getting to those figures, it's like you're gonna start enjoying life more. But for me, it was like, and it seems like for you, it's like the same thing. You're like, I need to lock in more now because you can see like the potential. You can see that okay, 10K a month isn't shit. There is so much more out there to get. Even me doing like 30K months, 20K months, it's like I'm more locked in than when I was basically broke.
Hmm. Oh yeah. No,
So you lock in more.
yeah, you lock in more. And for me, bro, all I wanted was just like if I could make like two extra $1,000 a month, bro, like that would just be sick. That's how it always starts. You know what I mean? It's like people are always like trying to shoot for the fucking Bugattis and Rolls Royces
Hmm.
before they even fucking move out of their parents' house. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Or before they even get themselves like a nice car or something. Like you got to take steps. You know what I mean? This was a step for me. You know what I mean? I'm not living in like Miami or anything, but in Colorado, like there's a good amount of like winners out here, and
Mm,
I get to meet them, and especially here, the gym that I go to here by where I live, it's like I meet a lot of highly successful people there. You know what I mean? That's another thing. Like if you just surround yourself in the right areas, like you run into good people. You know what I mean? You run into good people almost consistently. And I've been to Miami. I've seen that. I've been to Europe. But you know, it's also about who you are. Because if you just put yourself in those areas and you're just gonna go and be a degenerate fuck and like you're gonna just
mm,
go on that path, well then you're gonna fail quickly. You know what I mean? It's not just about like yeah, I just want to be around the scene. I just want to go to Miami. I get the high rise and I get to live there. I'm sure you've seen it, bro. Like it's
yeah.
what everyone hits their first 10K online and they go to Miami, they get a high rise, and them and their boys all get they share a Lambo or some shit. And
Yeah.
that shit is played out, bro. Like that shit is whack. Like, I really like the people who are like, the older crowd who are like very like successful and like they're like stamped. Like
Mm,
they're official, bro. Like it's wealth. You know what I mean? Um those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. I would say, at least me personally,
mm,
um and
100%.
I'm nowhere where I want to go yet, but I know that if being around those areas, it just feeds your mind, bro. It helps you with who you are as confidence. You know what I mean?
100%, bro, 100%. When you see that shit, it's like you get more motivated because that's all you see. That's normal to you. It's normal seeing people that are bigger than you and making more money than you. So then you automatically, it's like, okay, I need to get there. But if it's like, for example, here in Norway, bro, like there's not a lot of entrepreneurs. And honestly, I feel kind of big here. It's like I look around and it's like everyone is fucking working a 9 to 5. There is no one with an online business. So who am I competing against? So I feel big. And it's like, I don't like to feel big. I want to feel small. I want to feel like, I want to like look at other people and be like, fuck, man, this guy's driving a Lambo. This guy is going on vacation every year. This guy's making so much money, right? So, yeah, I definitely got to change areas as well. Environment has a lot to say. Now, yeah, bro, last question. What would you say? Because there's obviously people watching that are either stuck in their 9 to 5 or, stuck in their parents' house or even, you know, they have fear of starting. There's a lot of different people watching, right? What would you say, like in one sentence, to people that are hesitating to start or, yeah, that are basically hesitating to start and stuck in that place where they're either not getting any clients or they are getting clients, but they're not where they want to be, or they're just stuck in that, fear of starting. What would you say to them?
I would say don't give up, and probably like how bad do you really want to win? Like I would say, yeah, I'd say probably those two things because if you really want to do it, you'll do it, and you won't care what it takes. You know what I mean? Like you'll do whatever it takes. Because when you realize like no one really gives a fuck about you, bro. Like you're not that special. Like it's okay. It's okay if you call a barbershop and they tell you to fuck off. Like it's okay. You know what I mean? It's not like you just got shot and like now it's like you're gonna have a whole problem because of it. Like just simply don't give up. And how bad do you want it? Because me, I run my AI agency and I run my family's business. Like I'm running two businesses essentially at once, bro. And
Mm,
it's like that's why I get mad when people are like, oh, like I don't have time, or but you don't understand, like, oh, I don't have time to learn this. I don't have time to sit down and do this and do that. And I'm just like, brother, like you have no idea. Like you have no idea. You think that what you're doing is hard work, but there's always more you can do. I think that even me, I could go harder. You know what I mean?
mm,
I know guys who are up at like fucking 4 a.m. and then they start their work days and then they just have like list of blocks of things back to back to do. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, you know what I mean? But it just shows you like there's always more you can do than what you think. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%. Yeah, I would say the same thing. Stop being fucking lazy and stop being afraid. And yeah, one last thing I want to add on is anyone who's looking to start their AI agency, you should start like I'm pretty sure you can agree with this. You should start right now because it is a fucking revolution. It is gonna take over the world. It's taking over restaurants, taking over fucking any business out there is gonna take over. As you said in the beginning as well, you don't want to be the person who get replaced by AI. You want to be the person who replaces people with your AI. And that's the only way you're going to survive. So if you're looking to start your AI agency, stop fucking thinking. You see with Arturo, he started in June. He's on his way to do 10K months now. So you can do the same fucking thing. You got a lot of sauce, got a lot of inspiration. He's running two businesses. So stop complaining about time. Stop complaining about being, afraid and shit like that. Just fucking start. And now is the best time. So that's
Oh,
it. It was a very valuable call, and basically, yeah, I wouldn't even call it an interview, but it was a very valuable call. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to you, bro. And yeah, man, appreciate you for coming on, giving out sauce to all of my audience. And yeah, hope next time we talk within a couple of months, you're doing 20K, 30K, 50K, bro.
oh no, definitely, bro. And I just want to tell you, like, I appreciate you, bro, because a lot of I pay attention to a lot of the advice that you give out. And I feel like a lot of, like online guru guys and like people who sell mentorships and stuff like that, sometimes they're just they're not like the most how do I say this? Like
Real.
trust, yeah, like
Hmm.
real trustworthy people, you know what I mean? But literally with the advice that you gave out, bro, it allowed me to really build a good foundation for what I think, like for what I had to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you sit there starting a business, you're like, fuck, like what's the best way to start? What's the best way to go? I could go this way, I could go that way. But being able to sit down and really like understand and like listen to good advice, it really helps, man. So yeah, I think anyone that like listen to this call, if they really want to succeed, like their information is out there. Just it's up to you after that. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, man, I appreciate that as well. And that is what matters. Like, honestly, bro, yeah, 12K weeks, 30K months, all of that is cool. But for example, for me, I'm more like in my eyes, is more valuable, and I appreciate more that you or other people are able to make money from my advice because okay, cool. Yeah, I can feed my own family. I can feed myself, but being able to feed other families, and for example, as you told me, your mother told you that she's proud of you, and a part of that comes from my advice, bro. That means everything to me. So I love that, man. But yeah, good call, bro. I'll catch you next time, and next time we're doing 20K months, bro. And I'm looking forward
Well,
to have you on, bro.
perfect. Thank you,
Okay,
bro.
take care, brother. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Goodbye.